45% conversion rate on cold Facebook traffic, 54, 59, even 70% conversion rates off of YouTube. If you want to enjoy conversion rates like these, that's more leads and signups with the same traffic you have now, this master guide will show you how to design, create, and convert with your own landing pages. So timestamps below, because this is a long one, feel free to skip around, along with a link to our landing page playbook and template bundle so you can copy our design frameworks and copywriting formulas straight into your own pages and funnel. Now, landing pages are super simple pages designed to do one thing: collect email addresses, and that's it. Now, of course, I get a lot of questions when people look at simple pages like these that I say, hey, this is all you need for a landing page. And it normally goes something like this. Yeah, but that design's pretty ugly and my page builder has all these really nice looking designs, so why don't I just use one of those? And apart from the obvious critique of my lack of design skills, the answer is, well, how much would you pay if a page builder said, we'll just help you build these pages, right? So there is a certain aspect of giving you stuff you don't need, because after all, who's going to pay $50 a month for a software that just builds a simple page like this? So it is deceptively simple, and really, this is all you need for a successful landing page. In fact, this simple page converts at 45% on cold Facebook traffic. Design is not a huge key here. But what is a key is something called a lead magnet, or this is your free offer. After all, if we just made a page and said, hey, give me your email address so I can send you some emails and sell you some stuff, probably not going to get too many signups. So this is where your lead magnet comes in. Now, a lead magnet is simply a valuable free offer you make in exchange for that email address. This can be a template, an audit, a report. This could even be a special training. You've probably seen YouTube ads for webinars. Those are technically lead magnets as well. And this is something that you create that is genuinely valuable, not just type it into Chat GPT and then send it off like everyone's about to do in your niche. We want to create something that's based upon your own personal experience. And this is how you're going to start to build a relationship with people who've never heard of you before. Because, spoiler alert, the best way to get customers is to demonstrate that you're actually worth listening to by actually genuinely helping them. So I'll leave a link in the cards in the description to a full-blown guide that goes through all these different ideas, as well as how to create these for free using Google Slides, Google Docs, and of course, Canva. All right, so now that we have our landing page and at least some idea of your lead magnet, you don't have to necessarily know exactly what your lead magnet is going to be yet. Let's go ahead and look at how these two work together to create something called a lead generation funnel. Simple two-step process. Easier than me stuttering over my words. So go ahead, let's jump into this diagram. So let's say, for example, you make some YouTube videos, blog posts, or you're being really ambitious and you're running some Facebook ads. Well, inside of those tutorials, you could say something to the effect of, hey, if you enjoyed this video or if you enjoyed this blog post, I have this super cool thing that I think is actually going to help. In fact, that's very similar to what I did at the beginning of this video, along with a link to our landing page playbook and template bundle so you can copy our design frameworks and copywriting formulas straight into your own pages and funnel. And once you have that basic call to action in your content or your ad, hopefully they click the link over to your landing page, they share their email address, you only need the email address, and then you send them an email with the lead magnet. And that's how this simple two-step process works. You make a cool offer in a lead magnet, they get it, and hopefully they find value in it. And of course, if they do, then they're much more likely to open your future emails as well. Obviously, if we just use AI or just go ahead and create some really, really low value lead magnet, then you might get a lot of signups, but then no one's actually going to read your email, which means you're not going to make too many sales. And so that's all there is to this two-step process of landing page to lead magnet. Now, here's a quick rundown of the key elements of a conversion-ready landing page and how you can design your own in just a few minutes. So we'll use a proven framework called AIDA. This stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. And so these are the elements that we'll use to create a conversion-ready landing page. And I already said that. Let's go ahead and just jump in here. So the first thing we need to do is grab some attention, because time is not our ally. In fact, something like 40% of people are going to leave your landing page in the first 10 seconds. So we need to clearly communicate that they are in the right place with a clearly defined headline. And then, of course, make sure that they aren't distracted, which means no external links. That's something that makes landing pages unique versus other things. So they opt in or they leave. We don't give them any other options. We're not trying to filter people as if this was a homepage. Then the next element is going to be building interest. And this is going to be a clear picture of what's being offered, and then 3 or 5 bullet points. Now, even if you're delivering something digitally, people still need some tangible visual thing they can look at to understand that's what I'm going to get for my email address. And so that's all you need to do here. Then the next thing, we're going to create desire. And ideally, you would have a bunch of testimonials or trust seals here, or you could do a self-quote. Essentially, we are creating trust and showing that, hey, other people have found value in what we're offering here. Finally, we have action. This is pretty self-explanatory. We have a place for them to enter their email and then a clear button for them to click in order to get the free offer. And that's all there is to it, to a conversion ready landing page. These are the 4 essential elements that you need to convert like crazy. Now, taking a deeper dive into each one of these 4 key elements, we'll start with grabbing attention, because we are on the clock here. We've got 10 seconds, 40% or more of the people are going to leave even before they finish reading the headline. And so our headline is the most important part of this entire page. So when it comes to the headline, we need to clearly promise a result that is, hey, you're going to get this awesome thing. You're going to be able to do this awesome thing. Or we need to break a roadblock that's saying, hey, you're dealing with this stuff that you don't like, and we're going to help clear the path for you so you can go get the results that you actually want. And so here's an example from one of our landing pages promoting a free copywriter playbook. The headline reads, "Start crafting compelling sales copy in the next 15 minutes." We clearly communicate what the offer will allow them to do and instantly break through the perceived roadblock of copywriting takes a really long time to learn by saying, hey, you'll be writing in the next 15 minutes. Now, here's another example from Mindvalley where the headline is so big, you just can't miss it. And sometimes this is just the best way to go. They do multiple 7 figures a year, I think. So they certainly know what they're talking about. So we actually start off by breaking a roadblock by saying immune to overwhelm. So that's something that they're struggling with. Overwhelm. Then we promise a big result. Develop powerful focus. I should say they promise a big result. I obviously didn't write this. And then finally, we are clearly stating what the offer is, a 73-minute masterclass. Now, notice both of these headlines use a time element as a way to break a roadblock or make the promise bigger. So in the first example, we're saying 15 minutes, and that's letting people know that they're going to get what they want in a very short period of time. Whereas the second one, saying 73 minutes, we're saying that, hey, you're going to learn how to break this roadblock and you're going to start achieving these awesome results in the next hour and a half-ish, right? And so this is important, and I like using these types of headlines for landing pages because lead magnets need to be fast. They need to deliver results fast. So just keep that in mind when you're creating your lead magnets or headlines. You want to communicate fast results, and this is why normally a lead magnet is going to help them achieve something very small. Obviously, if we had a headline that said, write your sales page in 15 minutes, that would be pretty crazy, although maybe an AI tool and a couple of prompts would help, but I digress. So that does it for grabbing attention. This is going to be where you're spending the majority of your time. So next, we want to build some interest, right? And this is going to be a picture of whatever it is that you're offering and 3 or 5 bullet points. So we'll go ahead and kick things off with an example of the image. This example is from Unbounce, and you can see it's nothing fancy. It's a simple 3D image of a book. In fact, I'm even lazier with this. Most of my landing pages just have a flat 2D image, and I just drop a shadow on it or something. And of course, you can go ahead and use Canva to create these, or you could head over to Fiverr. You'll probably spend 50 to 30 bucks as you try and find a freelancer who can actually do what you want, and you go through the revision process. And so that is the next big element that you want to focus on, because whatever your offer is, people need to have a visual representation of what it is they're about to receive, even if it's just a simple PDF or a video. Now, when it comes to the bullet points, on the other hand, we want to address all the reasons that they wouldn't take action. So in our headline, we talked about something to the effect of, you can get this promise, or you can get this result, or you can overcome this roadblock. And well, people are going to have objections to that, right? They're going to have all the reasons why they don't think they can achieve that result that you're promising them, or they have all the reasons why they don't think they can break through the roadblock that's getting in their way. And so we'll use 3 or 5 bullet points to simply handle those objections, because most people, after they read the headline, if they actually do and didn't bounce like 40% of the people did, the remaining 60%, they're going to need some more information about what it is you're offering them, and you're going to have to make it clear that this is actually going to be helpful. So in our example here, you can see that we have our first bullet point addresses the concern of how much it would cost to get new subscribers and promises they will get subscribers consistently. Then we have a elimination of roadblock, that you don't have to do hours of research. Finally, we remove the roadblock of trying to figure out what type of video to promote or use in their promotions by simply saying, we'll tell you exactly which video to use. So next, let's go ahead and create some desire. Now, the best way to do this is to use media seals and testimonials, if you have them, to not only build trust, but also show that other people have achieved the results that our visitors want by using whatever it is that we're offering. And this is how we create more desire. And oh, they were able to achieve that result that I want using this thing. Now I probably want this thing too. And the only problem with this is most of us don't have a bunch of testimonials or media appearances to show how cool and awesome our offer is, right? And so what you can do in this particular instance is, number one, you can scour social media for nice things people have said about you. You can ask people to review or provide a testimonial. And of course, what I normally do is I'll just do a very simple self-quote where I talk about how this particular lead magnet helped me overcome a roadblock that I know that they're dealing with. And so this is a really fast and easy way to empathize with someone. And it also allows you to get your landing page up quickly, because now you don't have to go find testimonials or take screenshots of nice things people have said about you on social, if you have those. Most of the time I find it's more negative than positive, but hey, that's just the nature of doing these things. So finally, we have the call to action. And so this is what this entire page is designed to do, to get someone to enter their email address, and please, nothing else. You do not need any more information than the email address. The email address will allow you to follow up with them via email. You can always get more information later. Your page should never look anything like this. When you see big companies doing things like this, it's because they have a very different strategy, or they just have so many leads, they're tired of getting tire kickers. And so they add all this extra information because they actually want to decrease their conversion rates. But I'm going to guess that you don't want to decrease your conversion rates, so we'll just go ahead and leave it at email. And also a quick side note, I always get at least one comment.
Yeah, but if I have the name, then in my email autoresponder, I could add their name in the subject line and it's going to improve open rates.
I'm here to tell you that a lot of people, they put fake names and they put random characters. And so you're going to send emails that will actually do worse than if you hadn't put the name in the first place. So definitely do not worry about that. And one final note, jumping back into our example here, legal disclaimers and links to your site's privacy policy and terms of service may be required by your ad platform, especially if you're using Google or Facebook to run ads. No, I'm in no way, shape, or form giving any sort of legal advice, just saying you should probably check terms of service from wherever you're driving traffic from. Now, to help you save time with building out your own landing page, go ahead and click the link in the description to our landing page playbook and template bundle. And when you enter your email address, you'll receive a special link to create a free account with some bonuses, as well as all of our funnel templates for free. And this works even if you already have an account. If you do decide to upgrade, we of course receive a commission as to way to support this channel. Now, of course, you can always use the templates inside of Systemi. So whether you use our templates or the ones already inside, let's go ahead, dive into Systemi and build out your landing page. So of course, we'll start in funnels. And if you went ahead and used one of our free ones, it will show up inside of your account looking like this with this name, although sometimes we change it a bit. Or you can go ahead and click on Create, give your funnel a name, select your domain if you've set one up. We'll go ahead and select Build Audience. I'll go ahead and remove the currency, and then I'd go ahead and click on Save. Now for time purposes here, I'm going to go ahead and use the free funnel bundle linked up in the description. So I'll just go ahead and duplicate it, give it a quick name so I know what the funnel is actually about, and then I can go ahead and come in here to edit the landing page. So we'll kick things off with a quick rundown of the features and where to find what you need in the page builder, and then we'll actually go through the process of building out the page. So to start, on the left-hand side, we have elements, and these are all the different essentially blocks that you can click and drag over to your landing page design. And then we also have blocks. And what's really cool about blocks is these can save you a lot of time when it comes to design, because there are a lot of pre-done sections in here where you can just bring them into your landing page with one click. And finally, we have settings. So we can come over here to settings. This is where you can set up your typography, your default colors, and then all the way at the bottom here, SEO is not really important when it comes to creating your landing page. You do have the option to remove this powered by Systemi. And what's cool is if you forget to uncheck this for whatever reason, then you are automatically enrolled in their affiliate program. So unlike some other page builders out there that force you to use this and that don't give you a commission at all, at least on the free plan, you can go ahead and have full features, and you can also be able to remove this. So now let's go ahead and go through the actual building of the page, and we'll just start at the very top, the most important part, which is going to be your headline. And to save us time, I've gone ahead and done all the copywriting ahead of time using the landing page playbook linked up in the description. So I'll just go ahead and copy my headline and go ahead and paste it in here. Now, of course, I've pre-formatted this, but sometimes you'll paste things in and it'll look like this, right? And you go, oh, that's ugly. And the thing that you want to avoid is manually hitting enter, because that's going to mess with your mobile responsiveness. If you go to mobile, now it looks even worse, right? You're like, oh no, I want it back there. And then you go back to desktop and it's like, oh, that's not what I want it to look like. And you wind up going back and forth. So a better thing is to use something called margin and padding. And so we'll go ahead and we're clicking on the text element. I realize I should go over sections and rows in a moment. So we'll click on the text element here, and we'll come down to margin. So you'll see here it's by default set at 50. But if I dropped it to, let's say, 500 on top, you'll see that now there's a bunch of space. So margin is telling Systemi, hey, this is how much space I want above or below this element. Whereas padding tells you the spacing inside of the element. So you can make it bigger or smaller this way, and it's not going to affect the other elements on the page to a certain extent, right? So we'll come in here to row. That obviously looks terrible. We'll come in here to text. Obviously that looks terrible. So let's go ahead and take that away. And what you can do with your text is you can adjust the margin to the left or right. And so here's what we'll do. So you'll see this is what the headline looks like just dropped in, right? But I don't really like spend just sitting there by itself. It doesn't look all that great. So what I can do is I can come in here, I'll click on our margins, and then I'm just going to add 50 and 50 to the left and right. And I'm forcing Systemi to push in all of the text so that I get a third line that says ad spend. Now, ideally, I would want it to look like this, but I know from preparing this video for you, when I go to mobile, it doesn't look all that great. So I'll go ahead and let it look a little awkward on mobile. And then of course, if you want to change your colors, you just highlight, you can click here, change whatever your colors you want your colors to be. And of course, they have pretty much all the fonts that you can think of. When it comes to fonts, 2 fonts for your landing page, and that's it. So here's a list of recommended fonts we like using, something really sleek, clean, easy to read. And so that does it for grabbing attention with your headline. So next we have our build interest section, and this is going to be where we have a picture of whatever it is that we're offering, and we'll have some bullet points. So we'll go ahead and start with the picture. So all you need to do is use the image element here. And so the way that this page is broken down is it's broken down by sections and then rows and then elements. So you can see here, I've gone ahead and clicked on our image element, and you see our image is inside of a row that's inside of a section. And so this is kind of how you can organize the page. And of course, you can click and drag things all around like you would with most modern page builders. So let's say we wanted a different image here. So I can click and I'll drag it right there. And then I'll select the image. I'll click upload file, your images here. Let's just go ahead and choose a random one. Let's say this is going to be our our lead magnet. And what's also really cool is you can come in here, you can also change the border radius. So if for whatever reason you wanted to round out the corners, you can go ahead and do that. Now it's probably not showing up too well, I realize that, but I just wanted to show you that that's something that you can do relatively quickly. I wouldn't want to do that in this instance, but something else that's also cool here is you can add a blur effect. So you can go ahead and blur it out. So this is great if you have any sort of video-based lead magnet, then you can go ahead and take a screenshot of it, and then you can just quickly blur it out a little bit to create some curiosity. Now, obviously this is like, I don't know what the heck that is. So you probably just want to go maybe 3 or 4. And this way people can kind of make out what it is, but we're just creating some curiosity around that. And of course, you can also change the size. So you just click and drag the size that you want. So I'll go ahead and delete that since that's not going to be what we want to use. And then we have our bullet points. Now, unlike some other page builders, we can just click and drag our bullet point element in. And then the first thing you're probably going to want to do is play with the icons. Now, it's easy to go crazy with icons, and they have a lot in here. So if you find one that makes sense for whatever your offer is, awesome. So as an example, this is about Facebook ads, right? So putting in a basketball hoop probably isn't going to make sense. But if I had a landing page about how to jump higher or actually make free throws, which is, should be a basic skill. It's kind of crazy how many pro players stick at that. Anyway, or a bat, because this is about how to be Batman or something silly like that. You can tell I'm getting distracted. You don't want people to be distracted, right? So it should really relate to whatever it is that you're offering, or maybe a tennis offer or something like that. And then for the color, I like having it the same color as the headline. And actually, ideally, you would want your button to be a completely separate color. So I like having 2 fonts, 2 colors, and that's pretty much it. Keep it nice and simple. So I'll go ahead and delete that for now. And then I'll go ahead and jump over to our landing page playbook here, and I will just go ahead and copy, and then I'll go ahead and paste in our bullet points here. Realize I actually didn't delete that. There we go. Now it's gone. And so now what we can do here is I recommend go ahead and bold parts of your bullets, and bold a result that you're promising or a roadblock that you're breaking. So we can say eliminate wasteful clicks, or we could say double leads with the same budget you have now. So I'll go ahead and just bold that. And then we can go ahead and copy them for yourself. You see, that wouldn't make a lot of sense because copy what, right? If someone just read the bold part, it would make a whole lot of sense. So we could say peek behind the curtain at our highest performing campaign structures. So we'll go ahead and bold that. There's probably a better way to write this bullet so you could actually bold something that makes sense. And then we'll go ahead and say consistently craft high converting ads. All right, awesome. So that does it for the lead magnet and the bullet points. Finally, or second to third to last here, we have the desire section. And so I'll come back to the form inputs, but down here, ideally, this is going to be where you would put testimonials or trust seals. So you can come over here to blocks, testimonials. You have a couple blocks, and I would recommend just take one of these and drop them in, call it good. Don't overthink the page design too much. Now for me, because I don't have testimonials for this particular offer, mostly because it's just a demo for this YouTube video, I'll go ahead, jump into my landing page playbook again, linked up in the description, and drop in a sample self quote. So I'll go ahead and fix the formatting here. And again, the landing page playbook has a simple formula you can use to write this to build some empathy and rapport with people who are hitting your landing page. And of course, you'd go ahead and change out the image. And you do want to create the image in a circle. So Stemmy's not doing that. So I just created this real quick in the free version of Canva. And then we are ready for our opt-in form. So ideally, you just ask for the email, but I get it. People don't want to listen to me. They want more information for whatever reason. And so if you want to add additional form fields, all you need to do is come over to the left-hand side, click and drop in a extra form field here. You'll go ahead and say what type of information that you are collecting. And then you, of course, could change, let's say, name here, ... And then when it comes to your submit button, all you need to do is come over here and select the button icon. If I can find it, I probably scrolled right past it. My gosh, there it is. It's right there. Okay, so you can drop that in. You have a lot of options that you can play with. And then ideally what you would do is you'd want to make this a standout color from the rest of the page so it's really clear that this is the button that they should click. So I'll just come down here and I'll change the background color to, let's say, orange or yellow. Let's do orange, right? And then that way it stands out a little more and it's clear this is the button that should be clicked. And then of course we could click Save Changes. One final note, don't forget your legal disclaimers stuff at the bottom. And of course, I'm not giving legal advice, but most places require some form of that. So you definitely want to check into that. And then with that, we can go ahead and click to preview our landing page. So of course, letting us know it's a demo here. So we've got our headline, we've got our 3 bullet points, a picture of our lead magnet. Again, you can use Canva or Fiverr for creating this. And then we have name, email, and of course, they'll be able to click Access Now. And so for building out our landing page, we're all set. Now we just need to connect our opt-in form to some sort of automation or campaign. And so I'll go ahead and click to exit. And to do that, under landing page or step configuration, you just come to Automation Rules, add a rule, and you can say funnel subscribed, and then we'll click on Add Action. And you can either add a tag if you're setting up automations, or if you're on the free plan, you're just going to actually want to subscribe to a campaign because you can actually send automated emails on the free plan. But I'll leave a link in the cards in the description to a super deep dive guide that goes through building out an entire funnel that includes how to do all the tags and campaign setup part when it comes to the email marketing. But as far as your landing page is concerned, now that it's connected to a campaign, it is all set and good to go. Now, when someone joins your email list, you have 2 options. Number 1, you can send them to a normal thank you page telling them to check their inbox for whatever they just opted in for, or you could go the advanced route and make a paid offer right then and there, and this is called a one-time offer. So we'll go through both of these, but first, let's go ahead and jump in and build out a simple thank you page inside of Systemi. So once you've gone ahead, created the landing page, you've connected it to whatever email sequence that's delivering the lead magnet, we can come in here and add a step. So I'll go ahead and click on Add a Step here. I'll just say thank you page 1, and I'll go ahead and say that it's an opt-in thank you page. The page type is important, especially when it comes to if you want to do a one-time upsell, which the template will go through that in a moment. And then of course, we're going to have some options in terms of different pages here. Most of these, I think, have way too much information on them. And so I'm going to be really basic and go ahead and select the last one because less is more. The whole point of this page, and I'll go ahead and click to edit the page, is to get someone to open their inbox and open your email right now. This is critical because when someone does that, it sends a message to their internet service provider that you're not a spammer. They actually want your emails and they're actually going to open and read your emails. So the faster we can get someone to open your email right after it's been sent, the more likely your deliverability is going to improve with that particular person in the future. Of course, we still have to send good emails, otherwise they will stop opening. So we'll start at the top here. I'm going to go ahead and select an image of what they just opted in for, which is going to be a Facebook ads audit. So whatever image you had on the landing page, just go ahead and put that image here. And of course, this is way too big. So I'm going to click the image and I'm going to drag it down quite a bit and probably make it a little bit smaller. We could probably play with it more, and of course you probably want to change the colors as well. So we can go ahead and change the background color if we wanted. And then we're just going to say access confirmed. So we'll go ahead and make that bold. I'll change the text color back to blue here, and then I'll jump over to our landing page playbook here, and I'm going to go ahead and take this simple text and drop it in here because we want people to go check their inbox right now. This is really important. So if anything, we'll go ahead and take the font size up quite a bit. Let's say 29 is probably more than enough. And I'm actually going to remove this button because I don't want them to do anything. I don't want them to be distracted. They're either going to check their inbox or they're going to suddenly decide that they don't want what they just opted in for. And so this is all we need to do. I'll go ahead and click on Save Changes. And this is all we need to do for our thank you page. Now, this might seem super basic. You're like, well, I have their attention. Shouldn't I be doing something else with it? And the answer is yes. There's only one other thing that we might want to do when someone opts in. That's going to be something called a one-time offer page, or OTO page for short. So we'll go ahead and click on Save Changes here. And of course, we can preview the basic page. And you can see here that they say access confirmed. Check your inbox from our email address and be sure to whitelist us because we have some more awesome stuff for you. Again, we just need people to open that email. It's really important. Don't distract them unless you want to be advanced and do this, right? There's always a it depends, right? So I'll jump back over to our editor. I'll go ahead and click on Save Changes. I'll exit. And another option is instead of using a thank you page right after your landing page, you can use something called a one-time offer page. And so what you'll do is you'll click Add Step. You'll say OTOA, and then you'd go ahead and actually choose a order form, right? So you're actually going to choose an order form, not a sales page, and I'll show you why. So inside the free template linked up in the description, the second one here will be it'll say 2/2 sales page, and it will have an order form on it. So we'll go ahead and click Edit Settings. I'll leave a link in the cards in the description to a super deep dive guide that goes through how to build out your entire funnel. Here, I'm just going to show you this particular page and why it's so powerful. So instead of the thank you page that we just created, which says, hey, access confirmed, we put that little access at the top. We say, hey, you asked for this cool thing. It's on the way. It'll be there in 5 minutes. But we have something else really cool for you too that we think you might find value in. And so you'll give a crazy discount. I set the timer for like 15 to 20 minutes. And then it is a very simple sales page, headline, subheadline. You can optionally have a video here. If you don't have a video, what I like to do on a lot of our pages when I don't have a video yet is I will actually just drop in an image. So I'll go ahead and drop in an image here, and then I'll just put an image of whatever the product offer is. So we'll just go ahead and drop that in there. And then you can see here, we'll go ahead and make it a little smaller. And just like that, you have a sales page with an image or a video. Then you list out 5 bullet points of what the offer is, how it's going to help them. And then you have a payment form right on the page. And that's why it's important that you use the order form template and not the sales page template or another one, because this allows us to have all of this on one page. And this is really important if you're on the free plan, because it's a way to get around the page limit. And mostly it can also help with conversions as well, because someone doesn't have to click to go to a checkout page, right? So we have essentially a one-page funnel here, and we've got our countdown, say, hey, you will see this offer one time, and then it'll disappear. So the reason that this page works is because it really is a one-time offer. So you give them a really good deal one time, and if they don't take you up on it, oh well, you have their email address. You can send them emails and about other offers that you have. And so that's all there is to it, to creating your landing page. And of course, if you want to be a little more advanced and create a one-time offer page. Phew, this has been a long one. So if you're still with me, go ahead and hit that like button. We have just one more section. We will rapid fire through this. And that is, what the heck do we do now that we have created our landing page? Well, now when it comes to creating your landing page, the hard part is done at this point, right? The page is up, hopefully it's published, and now we have to look at it and go, okay, well, how do we fix it? How do we improve it? How do we make it better? Well, the first step is to do nothing. And I mean, absolutely nothing until you have at least 250 people who've hit the page. Because after all, it is really easy to just go to your landing page software and hit refresh over and over again and wait for the leads or people to visit. And you're like 5 leads, 5 people show up, nobody opts in. You're like, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Until you have 250 people, at least, we aren't going to have something called statistical significance to actually make a good decision as to whether or not we need to change or improve anything. So once we have those 250 people, once that minimum criteria has been met, then we can start going through different conversion elements on our page to figure out what we can improve. And of course, the biggest, most important factor of all is going to be how we're grabbing attention with our headline. And of course, we want to make sure that our headline is clearly communicating what's in it for whoever's showing up to our page and whatever the offer is going to do for them. So even if you've gone through this exercise or similar exercise already, sometimes when you come back, even just a couple weeks later, you go, oh, you know what? That's actually not a result that people care about that I talked about in the headline, or that's not really a struggle that they're struggling with. So of course, nobody cares that my lead magnet helps them break this particular roadblock or whatever it may be. And so again, link in the description to our landing page playbook that actually goes through this checklist and of course has some copywriting formulas to help you come up with other ideas. But whether you have really good conversion rates or really terrible conversion rates, the first thing you're going to want to test is your headline, because that's going to make the biggest impact on whether or not your page is successful and improves. And of course, we have 10 seconds. 40% of people in the first 10 seconds are probably going to leave the page. Some even leave before if it loads too slow, which we'll get to. But just remember, when it comes to optimizing, the headline is always going to be 80-20. It's always going to have the biggest impact on your results. Now, when it comes to the second part of your landing page, which is the build interest section, so this is going to be where you have some bullet points and you have a picture or pictures of whatever your lead magnet is, you need to ask the question, is this congruent with where they came from, right? So for example, if we're running Facebook ads and it's talking about how to create salad recipes, or it's for salad recipes, and then the landing page is all about chocolate cake, well, not only is that incredibly mean, people aren't going to be too happy, right? Because they're trying to be healthy and now you're trying to, give them chocolate cake. Now, obviously, if the ad was about keto chocolate cake or vegan chocolate cake or whatever type of chocolate cake you want to make, that doesn't involve dairy or gluten or whatever else people are scared of these days, then yeah, it would make sense to have a landing page all about chocolate cake, right? So we should probably stop talking about dessert because I'm starting to get a little hungry here, but you get the point. We need to make sure that whatever it is we talked about or promised in our content or in our ads is the exact same thing that we talk about in our bullet points. In fact, if you have an image in your ad or on your landing page or on your blog post or in your video, it should be the same thing on your landing page. And sometimes when you write bullet points, it should feel like you're saying the same thing that the ad or your content said, and that means you're on the right track. We're not trying to do anything new here. We want congruency throughout this entire process. Now, another way you can actually boost your conversion rates, especially if you've gotten 250 visits, you've probably had at least a couple people opt in. And so what you can do is you can reach out to them and use those as testimonials to get more people to sign up, right? So even if you have 5 people, let's say 5 out of 250 for some reason opted in, you're like, this is the worst landing page ever. Well, all you have to do is email those 5 people individually. I know it takes time, but email them individually and say, hey, did you get value out of this? And if you get some positive feedback, 2 people reply, right? Let's say you get 2. Well, that's going to help you with building or creating desire on your landing page because now you have proof that it has worked. And so anything we can do to make your page look more trustworthy and show that other people have already achieved the results or broken roadblocks that your offer is talking about, the higher your conversion rates are going to be. As an example, for one of our pages, I just went through YouTube comments and I found all of the positive comments I could on the subject of Google Ads. And so what we did is we took all the information that was in the video and we put it in a lead magnet, and then we included the video. And then we had testimonials of that video and that lead magnet. And so sometimes you can just go look around social for nice things people have said. And obviously there's not nice things out there too, but we can cherry pick what is going to help us help more people, and by joining our email list and of course downloading our lead magnet. Probably rambling a little too much there. So let's go ahead, move on from desire and talk about your call to action. Now here it's really simple. Are you asking for more than the email? Like really, look at your page. If you're asking for more than an email, then your landing page conversion rate is lower than it should be. Plain and simple. So all we need is an email. I know there's all that other information you might want later, especially if you're doing any sort of sales calls. But for now, we just need that email address, friendly reminder. And with the button, if you want to get fancy, you can say instead of download, you could say, yes, I want the template, or I want the blueprint, or yes, I want to lose weight faster, run faster, go climb further, whatever the big result is. And so you can customize that button text a little bit. But in terms of 80-20, in terms of what's going to really move the needle, your button text and color isn't something that you should be obsessing over testing. Definitely the first part, which is grabbing attention with the headline, is where we want to focus. Now, this next one you can actually do before 250. This is the only one you're allowed to do before 250, and that is compress your images. So irrespective of what page builder you decided to use, you can go over to Google Page Speed Tools or Web Developer Tools. I always forget the name. Link here. There it is. And you can see how fast your page is. Now, for the most part, most of the stuff you're looking at is going to be jargon. You have no idea what it means, and you have no control over it anyway. But what you can look at is your images, right? Because sometimes you make an image in Canva or something else, and you kind of squeeze it down in your landing page builder, but it's like 5 times the size it needs to be. And so using a free image compressing tool can also help with your page load speed, because images can be big bad culprits in terms of your landing page loading too slow. Because if it takes more than 3 seconds, you're missing out on tons of conversions because people are not waiting. Everyone has a short attention span. Feels like every year we say, have a shorter attention span. And then the next year, it's a shorter attention span, right? It just keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. So the final one here is going to be offer rotation. Because once you get your landing page, let's say 40 to 50 or even 60%, well, you can keep testing that headline, but you're probably towards the tippy top of diminishing returns in terms of being able to get more leads out of that particular landing page and lead magnet combo. So just go make another one, right? Go test another one. That's something that we've done a lot on this channel. And we have lots of lead magnets that started out really great a couple years ago, and now nobody seems to care. So it's also something to think about, not get zeroed in and focused on, oh, I just have one landing page. As an example, on our channel, over the course of a week, we might have 3 or 4 different landing pages, depending upon the videos that we are posting. And so creating lots of these to just kind of see what works is a really good recipe for finding those 1 or 2 that are really going to convert like crazy. All right, that was a long one. So I sincerely hope that we've gone A to Z and just about everything in between, minus the copywriting, of creating your landing page, what it is, the design elements, how to actually build one for free using Systemi.io, and link again in the description to our landing page playbook or template bundle. And of course, that can also get you set up with a free account. If you do decide to upgrade at any time, we receive a commission as a way to support this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Sincerely hope you are ready to go with your landing pages now. If not, comment below. Let me know how I failed so we can improve this the next time we do a longer video like this. And subscribe for more marketing guides just like this one. And I promise one's a whole lot shorter. And until then, keep building the business you love.